Today's training video is going to be on outline stations standby generators. Outline stations that have generators are 2, 4, 5, and 6, and they are pre-wired to accept these generators in case of a power outage. The objectives. We're going to discuss when to use the generator, how to use the generator, the process for startup and shutdown, and any maintenance. When we use the generator is anytime there's an electrical service interruption for an extended amount of time, i.e. snow, ice storms, wind, tornado, etc. We cannot just close up because we don't have power, we have to adapt. And this is a good time to point out, if you are woke up in the middle of the night to a call with no power, it is not the time to set up the generator. The generator needs to be set up in a non-emergency role. You can use the quick door disconnects on the overhead doors to get the apparatus out in case of a power outage. Connection points on the station. As you can see, you're going to have a service and meter. You will then have a junction box, which is our switch box. This will throw the power from the electrical service provider, which is Empire or NUMAC, depending on what station, to our generator. The bottom square box is the power cord. This will be the only box you will need to access. All other boxes will remain closed at any given time. It will take a flathead screwdriver to open up the power cord box, and you will find approximately 6 foot worth of heavy-duty extension cord that will plug directly into the 220 watt generator. The generator itself is a 5,000 watt generator. It's gas powered, and it'll run between 4 and 6 hours on 1 tank of fuel. On each generator, it will have a circuit breaker. This one will throw at 30 amps. If you are finding that you are throwing this breaker during operation of running your station, you are trying to do too much with it through the breaker panel. So start eliminating breakers to the essentials. The service switch in this picture is not to be opened at any time. I will show you a picture of what's inside, but it is all live current and it can shock you. What you do need to access on this is the throw switch on the side with the red handle. In the on position, it is allowing power into the building from our electrical provider, which is NUMAC or Empire. If it is in the off position, it will accept power from our station generators. Inside the switch box, this is what you would see. We do not remove this cover due to the hazard of being electrocuted. You will have the power company on the top side, the breaker panel on the center, and the generator power on the bottom. And the center just rotates from top to bottom is how it works. Here's a short video on setup done by Captain Pope.
All right, the first thing we need to do with the generator is you want to start it outside. You want to make sure that it's ventilated area. Make sure it's not connected to the building at all. Make sure it's going to run. It needs to be fired up once a month. Check the normal fluids in it, oil, gas. Second thing, when you drag it out here, you're going to need a flat-headed screwdriver. Take the screws out of this box. And you'll have an extension cord. This extension cord has got a 4-prong twist lock slot on it. line them up. Once you get them here, twist lock, you're good to go. Once the generator's running, you're hooked up. All you have to do is throw this brake. All it does, when you flip it, it goes from the on position where it is now. That means that the meter's running, there's power going to the building. Once you throw this, it kills all the power to the building coming from Empire. It'll only run off the generator. So this has to be in the down position. Once you have this thrown, if the power comes back on for whatever reason, it's not going to backfeed and tear up your generator, and it's not going to tear up the station.
Now we're going to discuss generator startup procedures. Not all of the outlying station generators are the exact same, but the startup procedures are similar. You will turn the fuel on. You will also check the oil and fuel before you try starting this generator up. Confirm that the breaker is in the off position. It will start in the on position, but it is easier on the generator and the motor to start with no load. You will turn the generator to the on position. You will choke it. You will turn the key or pull the cord depending on what generator you have at your outlying station. Once it fires, turn the choke off. It will idle. All the generators will idle up and down automatically depending on the load. Once you turn the breaker on and throw the service switch, it should idle up because it has now taken the electrical load of the building. Shutdown procedures. You will throw the service switch on the building. You will then shut off the breaker on the generator. Shut off the fuel on the fuel line under the fuel tank on the generator and allow the generator to run. This will empty out any fuel between the shutoff and into the engine, running it dry so we do not get a buildup in the carburetors of bad fuel. Unhook the cord and return the cord to the box on the building and return the cover with both flathead screws. Return the generator in the bay, check the oil, and top off the fuel. Power use. You will not be able to run every breaker in the station off of this 5,000 watt generator. So the essentials are the overhead doors, the heat, the lights, and the water if you're on a well. If you're on a well and you need to run something else, you can shut your well down and turn it on intermittently as you need water, but it will not run everything. During runtime, there are times where you will need to refuel the generator during its operation. At that point, we will shut the generators down. We do not refuel while they're running. To do that, we need to turn the breaker off to the generator, shut the generator down, allow it to sit for 5 minutes, check the oil, and then refuel. If you spill any fuel on the generator, allow it to sit for an additional 5 minutes. Then you can start the generator up and turn the breaker to the on position. Maintenance on these generators. These portable generators use 91 octane or above unleaded gasoline with an additive. You can find these already made at Station 1. It runs 30 weight Schaefer or Pennzoil. and the oil gets changed once a year by the shifts. It will need to be ran monthly to check operation. Top off fuel anytime it is used, but keep the shutoff on the fuel line closed after it's been ran to drain any fuel out of the line and the carburetors. In the picture, you can see the gas shutoff for this particular generator. All generators do have a shutoff on them. If you have any questions or concerns, contact the captain on duty or the duty chief in the case of an emergency.